Hi there, I'm Stacy, the Encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. In today's video, I am going to continue to work on some encaustic sketches for the new painting series, still trying to figure out that painting series. So come along. I think we're also gonna probably make some frames or continue to make the frames for this series. And also I am going to share with you one of our favorite recipes. So come along, hope you guys enjoy. Good afternoon. I have the wax turned on back there on both of the griddles there. I don't know if you can see that. And what I'm going to be doing is experimenting around with these backgrounds. I think they're still a little bit too busy, so I'm going to try to cover them up a little bit more. Now I have, I think, about 3 layers of clear encaustic medium over top of them. So it's brought down a little bit. As far as brought down, what I mean, it's covered up a little bit of the background, become a little bit more smoky-ish, if you will, but it's still really pretty clear. So the goal is to see what else I can use on these backgrounds, but still have them poke through in areas. So that is the goal for today. So what I'm going to be doing is using just plain white encaustic paint. And then I also have what I'm calling, or what is called, not what I'm calling, it actually is called a tinting white, and it's by Encausticos. So I'm going to use that and see how transparent that is. And what I'm going to do is draw a black line with just a regular old black marker on a plain piece of water, or not watercolor paper, but mixed media paper. So I'm just going to draw this black dot line on this mixed media paper. And then I'm going to do like kind of swatches of paint to see how transparent each paint is, rather, and how much of that black line shows through. And then I'm probably going to experiment then with these backgrounds that, like I said, I've already done. So there you go, more of today's plan. First, tinting medium. And I also switched to a slightly smaller brush for the encaustic white paint. So here is the encaustic white paint. A little bit more yellowy, a little bit more white, but maybe a little bit more see-through. Interesting. Now I do feel it's important to mention that I make my own encaustic white paint. I mix it up with some white pigment that I get from Earth Pigments, along with encaustic medium. So I kind of control how much pigment I'm putting into the paint, and I'm putting in enough to make it white, but not completely opaque, obviously. So just worth mentioning, I am not using Encausticos white paint or RNF white paint. I'm using my own encaustic white paint. So I decided to do this same experiment, messing around with the tinting medium and encaustic white paint on one of these backgrounds, just to see what the results would look like directly onto the background. So interesting. This is the tinting white Encausticos paint, and this is the store-bought, store brand, artist grade tinting white paint, just to make sure I'm clear. And then this is my own encaustic white pigment, and you can see I dripped a little bit of a blob there, but for the most part it's really pretty similar. This might be drying a little bit clearer because it's still a little bit warm. I think actually maybe it is, but it's an interesting concept here. So I'm going to stop blabbering on about this, and start some painting here. Okay, I'm not quite done chit-chatting yet. I am going to take a picture of these 3 pieces before I start the next step so that I have a documentation of kind of what they looked like before I started this next step. And I'm just going to be working with the clear encaustic medium and the white encaustic paint that I make myself. So just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing here. And again, I just want to cover this up just a little bit so that when I go to put the next layer on, this layer isn't really popping out. I really want this kind of buried in the background, if you will. That's my initial thought anyways. Okay, I have those 3 backgrounds done, and I'm going to take a picture of the background now, and I'll put them in here so you can see the original and then where it's at now, side by side. And I am doing this for as much for you watching this video as I am for myself. So I hope you're enjoying it, but I'm also doing it for myself so that I can kind of document my process, so that when I go to paint these big panels, I remember what I've done and what techniques worked out and what didn't. I also thought I would flip the camera around and just show you a couple close-ups. And this is that tinting medium now that it's completely cool. It's definitely more translucent than the white paint. However, I think for the purposes that I'm using it for, I like a little bit more of the opacity, and you can still see through. So at any rate, I just thought I'd show you that. I might work on this background just a little bit more, and then have 4 backgrounds to go forward with in the future here. And then I also wanted to touch on a couple points. The first one is, I am definitely not used to working with paper and it curls up on the edges, so I'm getting these ridges here. But that's not going to happen with the panels, because the panels are going to obviously be more rigid and flat. So that's a good thing. So I'm just kind of ignoring that. And then the second thing I wanted to show you is with this one, there's a lot of different bubbles and things in it, and that's because I went from a cool to a warm surface, if that makes sense, and I added a lot of texture in here and then kind of smooth that texture out with the torch. So those bubbles are really not going to go away. I think what I might do though is fill those in with either some oil stick or some tar or something of that nature, and just have a different background again, more of a grungy kind of look to it. And then there is this one. And again, you can see the paper, because it kind of warps and crinkles up, it has lines in it. So I'm gonna just kind of ignore those for now, and I might go back in and fix them. But there are the backgrounds for today, and we'll see you sometime soon, probably tomorrow. Happy Friday. It's been a couple days since I've picked up the camera, but I've gotten some images put down on those backgrounds, and that my plan today is to continue to work on at least one of these, maybe two, maybe all three. We'll just see where the day goes. All right, I wanted to show you a couple of close-ups of this one in particular. I don't know, it's gonna be really maybe hard to see in this, but I'm hoping you can see this image here is still poking through. That is from the background, and then this down here you can definitely see is still poking through. But it's just kind of a little bit more subtle and buried underneath there. And then the same thing on this one. I don't know if you can see that, but in here and here, that is also one of the drawings poking through. And a little bit over here. It's hard to see because I'm getting a little bit of glare because of the wax that's down. But I'm pretty happy, so we're gonna continue to work on these and see where it goes. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to leave you for today. I'm not completely convinced on how this is coming along. I have to kind of think on it a bit, but I'm just not convinced. Future me is interrupting this video. I am editing the video now, and I'm at the point where I say I'm not convinced on this sketch. And they're just sketches, they're preliminary sketches. But if you haven't seen last week's video, I encourage you to go check it out. I'll link it up here somewhere. And you can check that out. But I really want to go with a little bit deeper meaning with this new painting series. So I like the sketch. I'm just not convinced it's going to convey the meaning. So hopefully that explains it a little bit more. And I'm not completely ready to share the exact meanings behind all of these sketches and this painting series yet. I'm still, again, ironing all of that out in my head. I'm really trying hard not to rush this series and not to do the same thing I've done in the past. Again, not to say it's not good. I'm just trying to go in a slightly different direction and add a little bit more deeper meaning to me behind these paintings, and I'm hoping that it's gonna come through because I think it's an important message to convey. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, now back to the video. I think I covered up too much of the background underneath, so I don't know, not convinced, but I mean, like I said, I'm gonna sleep on it, work on a few other things, and go from there. We'll see you in the morning. Happy Saturday. I have two more panels, larger panels, two more large panels and a couple small ones just to cut down. It is cold outside again. I think it's like 14 degrees out there or something like that. But the sun is out, so that's good. It just is a little bit chilly. So we're gonna bundle up and try to get some more of these panels cut down and maybe get them framed up. So that's the plan for today. I also wanted to say that I'm going to make a complete video on how we make these cradle panels, so stay tuned for that, a future video sometime, all about making the panels, prepping the panels, all of that stuff. So that will be coming, so this is just going to be a little snippet of info. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
Just getting ready to make some more boards. Okay, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but it is chilly out here today. So the Best Husband Award goes to that guy.
Someone else.
For willing to brave this weather and cut panels for me. He also has a message for you guys to buy some art, because why, Matt?
I can maybe get an indoor studio. I mean, indoor workshop.
Big dream goals there. Anyways, back to cutting these boards before my hands freeze. Several vlogs ago, somebody had asked me for the recipe for the lemon chicken noodle soup that we make, and we are making it tonight. So I thought I would share this with you guys. This is one of our favorite recipes for a couple of reasons. First, it's yummy, delicious, and the second reason is it's a one-pot meal, so there's only one pan to wash, which I love. Takes a little bit of time, a little bit of prep work, but actually it's very easy. You can also modify this if you're vegan and don't want to add in the chicken. You can just do vegetables, and you can even add tofu for protein. easily modified. I use heavy cream in it, which again, you wouldn't want to use if you're vegan, but you could use something like coconut milk or things like that. So, but I'm gonna show you the non-vegan recipe. This is the traditional one that we eat a lot of. Like I said, it's one of our favorite soup recipes. So anyways, let's get started. So the ingredients that we use are onion, garlic, carrots, celery, lemons, chicken, noodles, chicken broth, and heavy cream. And I also actually like to add in kale at the very end of it. Piping hot soup. Just finishing editing this and I realized we never closed out the video. So two quick things. First, I will try to remember when I go to upload this video to type up the instructions, directions for making this soup because it is quite good and quite tasty. And then the second thing is that I really do hope you enjoyed this little vlog, the painting video portion, even though it didn't come out completely as I'd hoped, and making the frames, and then of course the lovely soup recipe. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do. Give it a great big thumbs up. It really, really does help me out. I am desperately trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and a bunch of watch hour time. So if you could help me out, that would be great. As always, thanks so very much for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more painting videos coming at you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.